Welcome back. Well, the mainstream media already under fire for being seemingly slanted in its coverage of the DNC.
I think the Democrats' first night may turn out to be more successful than the Republicans' last night. I thought it had a lot of charm and happiness.
Bernie Sanders received a standing ovation from the crowd at the DNC, actually bringing some of his followers to tears.
I mean, this place was packed until Bernie Sanders finished. The first two nights at the Republican convention, I mean, again, it's not that it's much of a comparison.
It was low rent. I'm sorry, comparatively. And I think I knew that this would happen. I was, it was kind of fun to cover, and it was an interesting thing happening last week in Cleveland, but I knew day one of the DNC that they would bring it together.
Well, Donald Trump calling them out, tweeting this. Funny, if you listen to Fox News, the Democrats did not have a good day. If you listen to the other two, they are fawning. What a difference. Well, here to react, Michael Graham of the Weekly Standard. Let's just begin with that last statement. She knew that the DNC would pull it together day one. Probably anything but that. Michael?
I'm just, look, I'm actually here in Philadelphia covering this convention. I ran campaigns before I fell into the evil media world with you lured in. And this has been the biggest convention fiasco I've ever seen. I was actually in the media tent last night when the Bernie protesters walked off the floor of the convention. Think about that for a second. Walked off the floor. Right? If that happened in Cleveland, that would have been a huge story. And then they took over our media tent. We were hostages in the media tent while they had to sit in, and the police had to stop everyone from entering and leaving. I mean, the idea that Monday night was a success when the nominee of the party was booed repeatedly. She was booed Monday night. She was booed last night. She's going to be booed again tonight. How do you make this convention? I mean, other than like, a massive, disaster, an earthquake or tornado coming through, this is so bad for a convention. To have the media celebrating it like some kind of win is jaw-dropping.
Well, all you have to do is go on Twitter and read what people outside on the streets are saying, because beyond just unifying, you talk about the logistics of the DNC and how disorganized it's been for the last couple of days. You've been there on the ground. What's the real story?
Well, I showed up Monday, finally working my way through the horrible logistics of getting in here through security after it was so convenient in Cleveland. Everything was easy. Whether you like the show or not, they had it set up well. But every delegate I ran into had the same question. Where am I supposed to be? I don't know where to go. I could have made a fortune the first day just selling coffee to desperate people who needed a cup of coffee at 5 in the morning. They had nothing planned. We're in a tent with the media. Monday night, we got visited by NOAA. There was this huge storm. Our equipment, we had to rush and evacuate our equipment. And if you read the media tweets, they're complaining about how disorganized this is. They're talking about how you see 10, 12, 20 Bernie shirts for every one Hillary shirt, and yet you watch their coverage and it's, wow, they're doing a terrific job. Everyone's together. No, they are still not together.
Yeah, and not just fitting the logistics of the convention itself, but also those people supporting Bernie Sanders. They are not automatically switching over to Hillary Clinton, but to listen to some media, you would think they are.
Right? Oh, absolutely. And look, I think that in the end, people are going to eventually gravitate back towards either left or right. I think that's true with Republicans when the people are reluctant with Trump, and I think it's going to be true here. But the amount of passion here, it was interesting. You had a story a few minutes ago about Donald Trump at the VA event and people there chanting, "Lock her up." People on the floor of this convention on Monday were chanting about their party's nominee, "Lock her up." I've never seen anything like that at your home. This is the hometown team.
Well, Michael Graham, thank you for being with us and telling us the real story.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. And in honor of the Democrats, I left the word ISIS out of the entire conversation just to show some respect here in Philly.
All right, we'll be right back.